Well, government says the coronavirus is like a storm. We are in that storm right now, but another one could be on the horizon. The virus is putting thousands of people in hospital. Many of those are critical to our economy. Let's get some perspective now. Our reporter, Michael Marillier, is tracking that story for us. So we know the elderly are the more vulnerable, but COVID's still hitting younger people.
Yeah, absolutely, Jane. And as you mentioned, they're crucial to our economy, crucial to productivity at a time when we really need every available skill out there trying to reboot our economy, which of course is in recession. I want to take you through some numbers and just to try and bust the myth that this virus only affects elderly people. Let's focus on the death stats first of all, Jane. And it's true, to a large extent, younger people are not as affected. For example, people in their 20s make up just 1.6% of total COVID deaths. People between the age of 30 and 39, again, it's just a fraction of the total deaths, about 6%. Slightly higher, Jane, for people above the age of 40. They make up about, let's say, 12% of total deaths. And the 50 to 59 age group, a little bit more serious. We're talking about roughly a quarter of all the deaths. But the vast majority are those people above the age of 60. So based on that, you might think, well, if I'm relatively young, I'm okay. But there's another twist in this tale. Let's focus quickly on hospital admissions. This is a study done by the NICD from the 5th of March to the 21st of June, covering around about 3 months. And what you're seeing there are hospital admissions related to COVID, and we've divided them up by age. And what you can see here, Jane, is literally thousands of people between the age of 20 and 60 have actually been admitted to hospital for COVID. So it really isn't just an old person problem. Let's focus quickly on hospital admissions by age group, and you'll get that sense. Much higher than the death rate for these age groups. For example, people above the age of 20, they make up 8% of all admissions. Remember, they made up less than 2% of all the deaths. When it comes to the 30-year-olds, almost 20% of all hospital admissions in that particular age group. And we're going to see a similar pattern here, Jane, where the hospital admissions are much higher than the death rate for these particular age groups. For example, people above 40, almost 1 out of 5 hospital admissions comes from that particular age group. When you get to the 50 demographic, it starts to even out a little bit. But the crucial point here, Jane, people are ending up in hospital, and that means they're being yanked out of our economy, which of course affects productivity.
I mean, it's really disturbing to see how many people actually end up in hospital, and hopefully that'll make people take it more seriously. Okay, the impact that it's having on skills and where to find them now.
Absolutely. Well, I spoke to 2 of South Africa's leading economists yesterday, Jane, and they said the crucial thing is that people who are in their 40s or in their 50s typically have a lot of experience. They know the workplace exceptionally well. They've been there, they've got the skills, and when you suddenly take them out, it leaves a gaping hole in their workplace and in their particular business. And of course, this comes against the background of an economy which is taking serious strain. Let's focus on that very quickly. That man, Tito Mboweni, the finance minister, telling us just a few weeks ago, Jane, that the economy could shrink more than 7% in 2020, and that would be the biggest shrink in terms of economic growth in 9 decades. So that really is the concern. If we have the skills available, we need to try and keep them as much as possible out of the hospital beds. Let's keep them healthy, and let's try and revive our economy.
Michael, thank you for that.